and welcome. Morgan Larson with the Bliss Real Estate team, and today we're going to be chatting about how do you go about picking the right mortgage lender for you. So you've got some choices out there when you're looking to choose a mortgage lender. Lots of choices. So let's start with the basic three platforms and the pros and cons of those. So your first up, and what we most think of, is a bank or a credit union. And the pros of a bank or credit union is that if you're already affiliated with them, they may have a great program for you. They sometimes have some of the best programs out there, but there are some cons that come with that. So con number one is that they have great programs, but they have limited programs. So there may be a better choice out there for you if you go do some searching. The other con that I have found with experience is that they sort of have mediocre or lackluster customer service. Largely, if you associate yourself with a non-local representative. So we're here in Northern California. If the rep is anywhere else in the United States, they may have lack of experience, and they also have lack of loyalty. They are more about quantity over quality of service. And so they don't care about your repeat business. And often that shows in how things go throughout the progression of things. So just bear that in mind if you choose to go that route. Another route, of course, is our online mortgage providers. So we've heard of a lot of those. If you Google mortgages, you're going to see about 1 billion choices out there. And the big pro of this is that supposedly they are the easiest process and supposedly they have the best rates. The cons, of course, are what I've found is that they sort of have teasers, as in they have wonderful, wonderful advertising that really catches your eye. And it makes it seem like the rates are absolutely the lowest and that the fees are the lowest, and occasionally they are, but that usually when you get into the process, you realize it's not nearly as easy as you thought. The customer service is often terrible. They just really don't care. Again, the quantity is even more, and the experience of the person you're working with is typically even less than most other routes. And so the customer service just typically is less. The rates usually aren't as good as they say they're going to be. And overall, I find that this is the least favorite route to go when picking a mortgage lender. I'll be nice. Lastly, your last route is finding a local mortgage broker. So somebody that you could actually meet with in person if you so chose. And this person is usually going to broker out the deal, which means that they have a lot of programs available. They can look at stuff from all sorts of investors and lenders out there with different requirements and different down payments, etc. And so the pro there, of course, is that you have lots of choices when you're working with someone like this. There aren't really that many cons, so long as you get a referral from either a trusted friend or family member who recently went through the home buying experience, or a trusted realtor who recommends you to someone. I think if you get a referral, that is generally your best bet. Now, regardless of which way you go, I highly recommend that you do shop around a little bit. So if you get a referral from a friend, wonderful. Also take a look at another mortgage broker or two. So I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 quotes is what you're looking at. If you start getting more than that, you're going to get a little wrapped up in the process and confused. But you do want to be able to compare. So what do we need to look at to really compare these loan offers? There are a few things. The first thing we always know about is mortgage interest rate. So obviously, the lower your rate, the less interest you're paying on a monthly basis, and the less interest you're going to pay overall for 30 years. So this is very important. Another important thing, and often underrated, is what fees are associated with the loan. Make sure you know what fees are actually going to be paid and who pays them. This can vary widely from lender to lender and program to program. So make sure you really understand what we would call your cash to close and what that looks like for each loan program that you're reviewing. Also, when looking at these loan programs, make sure you understand if there is mortgage insurance included and how much that is. If you're not doing a down payment of 20%, you more than likely will have mortgage insurance, and it can range anywhere from like $30 a month to several $100s a month. So make sure you know what it is you're paying each month, how much and why. Also, make sure that your loan offer includes estimated taxes and property insurance. Make sure that's in there so that you really know what your monthly should look like. And ask them to itemize that. What are they charging you for property insurance? And what are they estimating for property taxes? So those would both be estimates, but you want to know so that you can compare apples to apples. So the loan offer, of course, is a big part of choosing a mortgage lender, but you also want to make sure that you trust the person and you like the person, and that when you're working with them, the process is going to be smooth. So here's a couple of key questions to ask so that you can really understand the whole picture. So question number one is, who is my main contact? Are you going to be my main contact for the entire process, or am I going to get passed off to someone else once we're in contract? And is it only one someone else or several someone else's? This is important to know. Also ask, why did they pick this loan program for you? Is it the only program you qualify for them? Or are there other options, and what are those other options? And back to fees, really make sure they outline the fees and commissions that are being charged and who's paying it. Sometimes it's you as the buyer, sometimes the lender takes it on, and sometimes they split it up between you and the lender. And lastly, a great question to ask is about locking the rate. They're going to give you a rate today, but as we all know, rates go up and down over time. Usually they lock it for a certain amount of time, anywhere from 30 days on the really short end to 6 months or longer on the long end. I'd say 90 days is about average. So ask them, how long do they lock the rate? And if at no fault of your own we don't close by that date, who pays for an extension, or can they grant you an extension at all? Well, thank you for following along today. I hope that this was insightful and informative. And of course, if you have additional questions about choosing the right mortgage lender for yourself, or if you are wanting a local referral here, I certainly would love to help you out in either case. Give me a call or shoot me an email, and we'll talk later.